A Friend Indeed is a good episode to watch and is great on first run, but as you pull the episode apart, you begin to learn and realize things you probably never knew. For those who have never watched this episode, it's about Pinky and her many great lengths to gain the friendship of Cranky Doodle Donkey, a cranky newcomer who Pinky just can't seem to get to smile. Though trying to make the donkey befriend her and smile, Pinky becomes a never-ending nuisance who won't allow him to have any peace and quiet. Throughout this episode, Pinky fills the screen with her hilarious antics and ends up annoying the donkey more and more every time. Near the end of the episode, when Cranky Doodle is moving things into his new house, Pinky manages to destroy his scrapbook, making the elderly donkey ban her from his house. After a talk with Twilight, Pinky comes back to the house with an apology ready. But Cranky Doodle wants nothing to do with Pinky and tries to escape, unbeknownst to Pinky's amazing powers of super speed! The chase comes to a close, and we think that maybe Pinky has given up. However, she seems to have a gift in an attempt to make things up to him. It soon shows that Pinky has brought Matilda, a female donkey who Cranky has spent his whole life looking for since the night he met her at the Grand Galloping Gala. The episode ends with Cranky having smiled and befriending Pinky, while being able to spend the rest of his life with Matilda. I love the episode a lot, and that's why I hate to say there are a lot of things wrong with this episode. But there are a lot of things wrong with this episode. A Friend Indeed is a great episode, and is thoroughly enjoyable. It brought the Smile song, which is one of my favorite songs in all of MLP. It also gives us a lot of interesting information, like the fact that cows leave their field and go into shop like regular ponies, and Sakura and Cheerilee's birthday are a day apart. Unfortunately, there are also a lot of logical plot holes in this episode. First off, is Pinky is someone out of character. Yes, I know Pinky can, and has, shown lack of sympathy and understanding when she's gone too far. But Pinky is often shown to be fairly sympathetic and caring to her friends with a lot more common sense. I know the lack of her care and much of her common sense was used as a backup for amusing antics in this episode, but I can't help but feel they could have made it just as comedic with Pinky's normal attitude in place. I've also had a war with myself when it comes to the main ending, because it feels choppy and unreal. It seems in the end Pinky was just along for the ride, and while Cranky Doodle says she was his friend, he doesn't show it in a realistic way. This tears the episode apart for me, as it seems when the story was just getting to the highest point, it slams down a pathetic ending just to play into running time. I realized it was supposed to be a story on how we all show friendship in different ways, and some of us like friendship with privacy, but Pinky's relationship with Cranky Doodle being friendship seems ice cold and unrealistic. But that isn't the only relationship with Cranky Doodle that seems to be total nonsense. In the episode, we are told Cranky Doodle Donkey and Matilda met one night at the gala. He went to meet her the next day, and she was gone. I get it's depressing, but really, who would spend their entire life looking for someone they met and knew for only one day? This random throw-in makes the episode really seem like, dare I say it, a show for little kids. The saddest part is, it's an easily fixable error. The whole reference to the gala seems like a cheap throwback to the following season and has no reason to exist at all. A little bit more history with her, and it would have made sense. But no! They met one night, the girl disappears, and he spends his whole life looking for her. Sometimes I just think Hasbro thinks we're all idiots. There's another thing wrong with this episode, and it drives me nuts. It completely undermines Twilight's words of wisdom, which I found really sad, actually. Twilight in the episode says there are some people we just can't befriend, and that Pinky will have to deal with it. This is true in real life, and I think it's a great lesson. She didn't say there was anything wrong with Pinkie Pie or anything wrong with Cranky, but mainly that they just weren't compatible as friends. This isn't actually what I think the main lesson should have been about, because while Pinky's friendship with Cranky led for a happy ending, I think a good future moral would have been better. Though I have my gripes with this episode, it is an enjoyable one. It doesn't happen to be on my tops, but it's fun to rewatch, especially if you're not going through and critiquing every little thing. Tell me next time what you think of this episode, and how I could have been better in the comments below. Until next time, this is Midnight Stories. Goodbye, every pony!